Zambia has 9 provinces, and each of those 9 provinces has customs, traditions, and values of their own, but they are not so different from each other. You know that we are one of the poorest countries in the world, so a lot of people want to do anything for any small amount of money.
What happened was, for Zambia specifically, in 1973, they got advice from the IMF to consider outsourcing credit, financial credit from the IMF and the World Bank and some other external partners, and so they got the first external debt, post-independence debt.
The reason why these people, there is a lot of poverty in our countries, a lot of families are being headed by children, whereby there is nobody to support them after their parents have died. So at least if the community of where they live in, they could be involving themselves to help them, like financially, like to support them in their school.
Education is embraced because people understand that it's very important to be educated, to progress in life, to access your dreams and everything else. But what it does to culture, it sort of breaks down the certain, critical pillars that are embedded in our tradition.
The drawback to education, like for the girl child, is that, like in the past, most of the families wanted their girl child to be married than to get an education.
So in the year 2000, there were 29 countries that received debt relief that enabled the countries to provide for education, healthcare, and infrastructure development in the country instead of paying back money to the international financial institutions. It's really an economic justice issue.
The country then had more fiscal space. Okay, they had more freedom in redesigning their expenditures and the redistribution of resources in the economy, with the hope that they will spend more money on healthcare and on education institutions.
I know that a lot of resources that were freed from debt cancellations have been used in building schools and building clinics and employing more teachers.
So that's what the Jubilee movement's all about. So the Linking Our Voices campaign is really an attempt to bring some person-to-person contact with people of other cultures in order to make the issue of debt relief and economic justice real.
Jubilee's work has always been more than about debt. So it's mostly and also been a real moral and ethical question about social and economic justice.
The Jubilee campaign has been one of the most important and most successful campaign that the world has seen.
We are grateful for the debt cancellation. That was the only moral thing, good moral thing that had to be done. However, that is not enough.
What has happened in Zambia is that the whole debate has heightened the understanding about the dangers of irresponsible debt contraction.
What our work is primarily focusing now, really trying to ensure and push not only the international community, but also our national governments and our national systems for a sustainable borrowing and sustainable lending system to be put in place.
I'd like to call upon all parliamentarians and all governments to adopt international standards on debt, international standards on ODA, so that we can ensure that all finances internationally are open to scrutiny by parliaments, open to scrutiny by the international community, so that funds that are meant for development are used for the purpose.
If there was a mechanism globally that would monitor the lending and the borrowing, that would definitely make a big change.
What can you do as an individual in order to further the cause? I think there's a number of things that I just wanted to, that I think that you can do. First, I think it's important for people to get educated. We have book groups that are forming, and we hope that people will join in conversation around specific issues through the book groups, get involved in advocacy activities. There's always opportunities to write letters, sign postcards. What would be great is if we had more Jubilee congregations that were really dedicated to the economic justice issues that Jubilee is working on.